Welcome to the next video. This video will mainly be discussing the 2D production environment in SolidWorks. This is the 2D production environment, and this is used to create a 2D drawing from your 3D model. And 2D drawings are usually used by companies to give price estimates, produce parts, or when they need to know how to assemble parts, you can make an assembly drawing in the drawing environment. Now the CSWA exam will ask you some questions about the 2D production drawing environment. You don't have to actually create a 2D production drawing, but you will get some questions. These are multiple choice questions, and these make up a small portion of the total point size. I think it's between 10 to 20%. It's not much, but it can mean the difference between failing and passing the exam. Since it's an easy thing to do and to learn, I would suggest that everybody does the same things which I'm doing in this video. Just try to recreate the things I'm doing, just to learn how the functions work, so you can answer any questions they might answer about these functions. Now, let's first show how to create a drawing. So let's minimize this. We'll come back to that later on. Go to File, go to New. Instead of Part or Assembly, we're going to click one of these 5 icons. These are the production drawing icons, and these mention our paper size. We're going to click on A3. The E stands for English. This brings us to the HANA Automotive template on A3 paper size in English. Click on OK. Then here on the left, we can browse for a part. So let's select the gasket we made during lesson 1. Click on OK. We can select a view. So for instance, the front view. Start with that. Then this is the side view. Then maybe a 3D view. So if I mouse over, I get extra views. Let's zoom out a little bit. Controls are the same as in 3D modeling environment. Here on the left I have more options. If I select a view, I can add multiple options, and this is basically the 2D production environment. I can also add dimensions by using the Smart Dimension tool. I can sketch. It's all the same as in the modeling environment. So we can just add a dimension in the same way. Now let's leave this and go back to the views. The questions about the 2D production environment mainly focus on the special views. So not about the normal views you see here. You can get a question about that, but then they will be fairly simple because they're not that complicated. You can simply add a view by going to Projected View, select a view that's already there and add an extra view. And if you don't have a view yet, you can go to Model View, browse for a model, and then add it in the drawing. So let's zoom in a little bit here and let's add some special views. Let's start with the section view. That's used a lot. We can select a line which then cuts through our part. So this line cuts through our part, and this is the see-through view that we get, and the arrows point at the way that we're looking at this part. So we can always click on this line and flip the direction in the top left corner here. It's always a possibility. Now let's add a detail view. So let's say we want to take a closer look at this bottom part. We can just draw a circle there, and then we get an enlarged view. And here at the left we get all of our options. So we can change scale, etc. We also have a break option. Let's say we have a very long part. We have a tube which is 6 meters long. It's impossible to get on an A3 paper, obviously, or we need to scale it down so much that we just end up with a single line. So using these break options, we can click on a view and add break lines, and everything that's in between the lines gets cropped, so we get a smaller view and we leave more space for the other views. Another option is the broken out section. If I click on this, I get a sketch tool. As you can see, my mouse cursor changes and I can draw a figure using the spline tool. Here I can select the depth, and what this does is it makes a partial section view. You'll see in a second. First I have to select the depth. Just as by section view here, I have to select where the cut's being made. If I make a partial depth or partial cut, I should say how deep the cut should actually be. So I can enter a dimension, or using the select option I can click on a line in another view. So let's say the cut should be up until here. Click on OK, You can see I get a partial cut. Now these lines are called hatches in English. They show you the type of material you're cutting through. So every material that has a hatch pattern shows you're actually looking at a material which you've cut through using a section view or a broken out section. So let's zoom out. Let's go to another part here and show you another type of a section view. If I go to sketch, I can simply draw lines. So I'm going to draw a line here and we're going to make a partial section view. Make sure you select the line, go to view layout, go to section view. You can see here I can make a partial section view. Also keep in mind the section view is a line, so I cannot move it up and down. I can only move it left to right, so it stays aligned. And you can see the VV stands for which type of section view if you would have two, like I have in this drawing here. And normally only one part is used per production drawing. I've only used two here as an example to quickly switch from one to the other. But usually you only have one part in a production drawing. Now what do you do during the CSWA exam if you have forgotten something? So let's say you've forgotten something about the section view, you want to look it up. No problem. Just go to help here, go to SolidWorks help, and let's just type in a search button section view. Let's see what we get. Here we have some information about inserting a section view. Let's click on that. We get all the steps with the buttons. We go down, we get some examples how the section view works. So if you get a question during the exam, just open the help and browse the help for answers. It's allowed.